So you're looking at a job post and you're realizing that you don't have the right experience or you don't have the exact experience for the role. Maybe they're asking for 10 plus years experience and you have 5, or they're asking for experience in commercialization or marketing and you only have experience in product. What do you do? In a previous video, we talked about the fact that yes, should you apply? Yes, you should apply. And there's a couple of reasons why there. You can check out that video. Now, we're in the next step of the process in this video, where how do you even get an interview? Yes, you apply, but how do you ensure that you get the interview? And in this video, we're going to go through a 3-step process to maximize your odds and make sure that they respond back to you.
In the first step, what you want to do is make sure your resume is really up to par with what they're looking for. So you can do this by going into the specific job and then looking at what those qualities are under what they have listed. Do that for a few different jobs, really get a sense of what it is, and then go back in your resume and paraphrase that. Don't copy and paste it. But paraphrase it, really where that experience is relevant to your past roles. And you can have that reflected in there, as well as in the objective to have that focused on what role you want to get, as well as the brief top description in your resume of really why you'd be a good fit for what role you want. So those keywords keep coming up in your resume. And then again, under your resume specifically, you want several bullet points of where you've worked on. Here, you are being as specific as possible. You know, if you're a developer, what tools did you use? What languages did you work with? If you're a project manager, what were the size of the projects? Or if you were in college and you're going for your first job, what were some projects you worked on in school? And the technical pieces that could be relevant. So you really want that to stand out as that first piece. This is really the pre-work needed before you even start applying, because you're going to put a lot of effort into applying for jobs. You want to maximize that by hearing back. When I was working as a recruiter before, oftentimes I would come across people's resumes that looked like a okay fit, but I would give them a call. Sure enough, they either had the experience and they would explain to me on the phone why they had the experience. And in that case, I would immediately send them over to the hiring manager with making sure that reflected in the resume and a brief write-up. Or 2, they didn't have the exact experience, but they did have experience that was transferable enough that I would still send them over to the hiring manager, and oftentimes they would still get that interview. So really want to make sure you have that experience on your resume. That's even before you start applying. The second piece you want to do is the follow-up. This is key because you want to make sure that you are in front of the recruiter or the manager. They get a lot of resumes. And if you don't have the perfect experience, you really want to make sure that you are standing out. So if you don't hear back within a couple days, 2 or 3 days, you want to give it that time frame, let them maybe look through it, 2-3 days, and then you want to find them either through the job posting. You could find who the recruiter is or who the manager is that posted it. You can also find them on their website under recruiter, manager. Those are typically the people that you're looking for. You could also find them on LinkedIn by searching for the company and then by seeing who might be responsible, or at least someone to get you transferred enough over. Now, once you've found the person, what you want to do next is go to step number 2, which is researching the company, finding a unique reason why you want to work there. And this is not a reason that is relevant to you making a lot of money. It's not one that you would just be so happy with it. It's a reason why you'd be a good fit and what you think is cool about them as well. So this could be, maybe they have proprietary software that you've done research in the marketplace and you know how unique their software is. So say that. Well, don't say that at this point. We'll go to the next step. But think of what that would be. Think of what that unique reason is. And it's not something like you're a leader in the industry. There's a lot of leaders in the industry, but why specifically are they a leader in the industry? That's what you want to find out and come up with the reason. Now, the third step is going to be reaching out to that recruiter or manager or hiring individual that's responsible for the job. And then once you reach out, you could just do that. Sometimes they'll list their email or phone number in the job posting. Again, check the website. Sometimes they have the email or contact information for that specific person. And then also on LinkedIn is still a great way. So on LinkedIn, you just hit the connect button and then you do add note, and then you can do a brief summary. And really what you're doing in there is you're just explaining, hey, I applied to this job. I think I'd be a great fit for it because of XYZ. Really interested in working for your company. Even if this role isn't perfect, would love to have a short conversation to see if it could be a fit somewhere. Simple, don't overthink it. Just a few elements of letting them know, hey, I applied, I'm interested, here's why. Here's why I also think I might have good experience for the job. And then to just get a call set up if something may be a fit. Again, just finding that balance. And that is the 3-step formula for reaching out if you don't hear back after a couple of days from applying.
The third thing that you want to do is you want to follow up if they don't respond. So you have done your pre-work, the non-negotiables, you've tailored your resume, you have tailored the cover letter if necessary, you've already applied, they didn't follow up, you go directly to the hiring manager, as Chaz mentioned, and you give a specific tailored message as to why you are still a good fit for the role, even though you don't have the exact experience. The third thing that you're going to do is you're going to follow up if you haven't heard back within 3 to 5 days or so. And here, the most important thing is that you're showing persistence. Most people are not going to do a second follow-up. They just send it out, they pray, and they hope, and they don't hear anything back. So don't apply and hope. You want to be persistent. So send a message back out to them, reiterating why you're interested in the position, and also just checking in. Hey, I sent you this previous message. Just want to make sure that you got it, and let them know that you're interested and why, as well as, again, reiterating how you have transferable skills or transferable experience for this role. The last thing you want to mention is that you're also open to other possibilities within the company or their team. So maybe if it's not this role that you see me as a fit for or open to, then I'm also open to other positions in the company or your team. Very excited to work here. And you've already mentioned the reasons why. So if you can mention those things, it's going to increase the odds that they're going to reach back out to you. If you don't hear back within after that message, probably good to just let it go. They've already messaged to them specifically twice. Very likely, and Chaz, you mentioned this in your recruiting experience, that when they get that persistent message, it's very likely that they are going to respond, because most people just simply aren't doing this, right? So that's the 3 steps that you need to be able to do so that you can get a response back. Do your pre-work, tailor your resume specifically, then follow the 3 steps within the second step that you need to do so that they actually set up a call with you. If you don't hear back, make sure you're persistent and you follow up. If you do all 3 of these things, you will increase the odds that they will respond back to you, and maybe you get a chance at a role that you don't have the exact experience for.